Witch versus Witch. The Future, the Organic Brain Network. The Witch of the Frontal Lobe versus the Witch of the Cerebellum. Episode 7. In an age when the last metallic element had been scraped from the strata of the earth and mineral resources were utterly exhausted, humanity stood on the corpse of its machine civilization and completed the organic network, a system running on nothing but human protein and spinal tissue. Now, every piece of data in the world flows not through cold silicon chips, but through human brains and spinal cords pulsing inside culture tanks. In this merciless living internet, the men who make up half of humanity no longer live in reality. They are mounted like specimens inside glass capsules that stretch for tens of thousands of kilometers beneath the great dome cities, submerged in dark green culture fluid. Their bodies draw shallow breaths through oxygen masks and nutrient lines, while their minds are force-uploaded through neural sockets into the virtual reality of the metaverse, dreaming a dream from which they can never wake. The witches were the operating system of this vast virtual world, and its gods. So that the men would never realize their bodies were rotting inside the tanks, the witches remade the world into an enormous game. Inside the metaverse, the men live believing they are heroes striding across legendary battlefields, merchants amassing colossal fortunes, or explorers wielding mysterious magic. Every trial and every reward handed to them was a thoroughly calculated product of dopamine, and the more they grew and triumphed inside the game, the more fiercely their brain cells burned, producing highly concentrated biological data. But the truth of this cruel game was that what waited at the end of victory was not glory, but erasure. The moment a user climbs to the top and seizes the championship, the system judges that his genetic information and brain energy have reached their peak. In that instant, the witches connect to his neural network and drain every drop of his vital essence. Just as the hero inside the game roars in triumph, inside the tank in the real world a logout takes place. A body with a burnt-out brain is discarded. In this way, the preservation and advancement of humanity rested entirely in the witches' hands, and they reprocessed the extracted genetic data to cultivate the seeds of a new generation, carrying civilization onward. The men were merely expendables, dancing inside a virtual glory to keep this great furnace of evolution turning. Today, as well, in the virtual space of Sector 07, a lower residential district, a massive siege event with tens of thousands of male participants was underway. The men standing on the ramparts screamed with frenzy, believing the avatars they controlled held the most powerful weapons in the world. But beyond their readiness, deep in the core of the system, two witches had begun a merciless wager over ownership of this vast game server. The first to shake the board was the Witch of the Frontal Lobe. She was a predator who seized the frontal lobe, the seat of human reason and sociability, and burned away every inhibiting mechanism. To the thousands of player nodes she occupied, she issued a one-sided enhancement buff. The instant her command dropped, violent red system windows poured down like a waterfall across the player's fields of vision. Critical, PFC limbic system sync. Moral limiter released. Pain receptor mute, 100%. The Witch of the Frontal Lobe sent her opponent, the Witch of the Cerebellum, a log laced with a bloody smile. These pitiful gamers will think they have become heroes. But the blades they swing are in truth the flame of extinction, ground out of their own brain cells. This madness, made by burning a frontal lobe whole, will devour your exquisite computational order. Just as she said, the men inside the game clawed up the ramparts like madmen, forgetting even pain, while inside the tanks in the real-world men whose brain temperature had crossed the threshold convulsed, spewing blood-flecked foam.